Good morning, option traders. This is Jeff, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, November 1st. What I'm going to do is do the first scan, just run through the market, show you what I do in the morning. I'm talking kind of quietly because there's still some people sleeping here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run through a couple of the indexes to see how the market's doing, and then we'll go through the A+ list and take a look and see if there's any potential trades for today. The market's been closed 2 days this week because of Hurricane Sandy and the devastation that it caused on the East Coast, and my heart goes out to anybody that was affected negatively by this storm. And I hope that we all recover quickly. And I hope it's true what our president said, and that any sort of federal aid, he wants to cut through the red tape. So speaking of red tape or green tape or whatever, let's just run through here and I'll show you what I do in the morning. First thing I do is I look at some indexes that are in my index list here. And I use the Alt tab, just to tab over to my charts. So if I press Alt and then press Tab and I jump back to this window. I press Alt and I press Tab and I jump back to this window. The other thing that I've done that I failed to mention for you folks is I have my crosshairs synchronized. So you'll notice as I move on the daily chart, it's also moving on the monthly chart. And if I go over far enough, it's also moving on the hourly chart. And it syncs up between the price and date. And to set that, you just come up here to your monkey wrench and you press that and you synchronize. I synchronize drawings in crosshair position. It's a feature that they added, I don't know, about 6 months ago. They're still trying to catch up to some other charting programs, which is good. At least, they're making improvements that I like. All right, so just taking a look at, this is the Dow, and we're just seeing some consolidation here. Maybe we came up to the middle here between the 45 and the 55, and it looks like we might be hooking back down again. That's just an observation. It's not playable or anything. Moving average is down, and we're getting a hook down here, so we may still be heading down a little bit further. The other thing that I want to point out to you is on the weekly chart, we have broken through the previous resistance at 13,173, and we're down to 1306 now over here. Our next stop may be this 50 moving average here, or it may be this support here at basically 1,300 or 13,000, I should say. So that's just some things that I take a look at to see what's going on with the major support and resistance. All right, come back here and take a look at the S&P 500 futures. And I see the same thing here. As a matter of fact, I even drew a line in here letting me know that that was a major resistance back here at 1415, 1410, somewhere around there, and it has broken through that to the downside. We got the same kind of hook down here. We have a 50 MA that is telling me that it's up a bit. At least it's trending up, but it's still, for all practical purposes, flat. Take a look at the mini Nasdaq or the Nasdaq futures. They definitely are in a downtrend. Major resistance, major support, major support. You can see that it looks like it might be bouncing off the 50 MA, but it may be setting up to crash through it. We don't know. We're getting a hook down here. Not a lot of momentum up or down. Sort of a consolidation pattern here. The other thing I want to take note of is all the moving averages are starting to come together here. That's usually a sign that probably something's going to happen one way or the other. And something always does, doesn't it? And then the Russell 2000 futures, take a look at that. Russell 2000 is usually a leading type of indicator because it's small cap stocks. Small cap stocks are more affected by the economy. So if we look at it from that perspective, we might say, well, small caps are edging up. Our Stochastic is moving up almost at our 80 point here, where it may bounce and come back like it did here. Come back down and just barely, the fast just barely touched the 20 level before it hooked back up. But price, we have a divergence here. Price is down. Stochastics are up. So that is called a divergence. And that is something to keep an eye on because that's usually a sign that something's not real. One of these is not real. Either the price action is not real or the stochastic is not real, which could indicate a very strong move one way or the other. And I can point that out here by just drawing a little trend line. Here's the start of our up on the stochastic and the start of our down on price. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a divergence. And that's something to keep an eye on. The other thing I take a look at is the VIX. And we see here that it's consolidating up on the higher part here. I'm not sure exactly, stochastic is kind of wallowing around in the middle. We're getting a little momentum coming out of it, apparently. But we had a big move up yesterday, even though the markets didn't come down that much yesterday. If we take a look at this, if we look at the Dow, it doesn't show us here. But if we look, and the VIX is based off the S&P 500, so if we take a look at that, there actually yesterday it was up a little bit, but the VIX was also up, and that tends to, the VIX really should only be going up when the market's going down, usually. So that's a bit of a divergence too, and that's sort of a telling tale, I guess you could say. So right now, I'm still feeling, I always tend to lean bearish anyway, but I'm definitely feeling bearish. And then we have the elections coming up in America, which definitely could affect things. So I'll just close this up here, and we'll jump over to Apple. And these are some plays that I was messing around with Apple. Nothing really serious there, just trying to figure out, how to play this if it should consolidate. And I'll get rid of that clutter here. And we'll jump over to the chart. Now, here's something interesting. Let me zoom in on this. When you're in a, this is disturbing for Apple. This is a kind of a huge move down, although not unusual because it did it back here in late spring, early summer. It did the same thing, and so did the market. But this is pretty strong. At least there was some up weeks here, and here there's no up weeks. So that kind of tells you something, if you ask me anyway. But I don't see a play. We're in a downtrend. Stochastic is down around 20. It's actually at 29. Momentum is down. If you wanted to chase this, in the past, normally that's what I would do. I would say, well, it's got a strong trend. It's going down. I'm just gonna do something. I might do a Delta 20 credit spread on this. I might, but I'm not going to put that in my plan for today. Let's take a look at Amazon. Now this is interesting. We have a downtrend. We have what could be called a bull flag here when we're in a downtrend, because we got a higher high and a downtrend here. So we just keep an eye on this, and this is what I do a lot of times just to draw my eyes to it. Is I'll say, all right, I'm looking for something to happen here. I'm looking for the slow stochastic to come up and hit this 80 or get at least close to it. If we're in a downtrend and it comes above 55 and then hooks back down, I would get in. So we're also watching for something to happen here. So either of those, a hook there would look interesting. And if you look at the daily, the hourly, yesterday the last trade was at 1800 at 6 o'clock, and it was hooking down here. So we'll keep an eye on this one. There may be a trade there. And this is what I would do if this decided to hook down and this decided to hook down here today. Here's what I would do. I'm in the Analyze tab. I go to Add Simulated Trade. And let's see, do I want to just be in this one for a day? Let's see what it would look like if we did it at the money. And when I say at the money, the price is 232, and I would pick like at 230. And I would sell vertical, and I would take a, because I'm a very visual person, I would come over here and say, well, if this thing moves down to 229 in the next 2 days, and then 229 is only down here, if price decides to come down, that could be a viable play. So I'm going to leave this for today. And what I do is I put this in my in-play watch list, which is what I watch during the day. So I right-click on the symbol here, and I say Add to Watch List in Play. So now I'm going to be watching that one today. Moving on, we'll take a look at BIDU. Whoa, they had their earnings. They had good earnings, but I would be willing to bet that they're saying they're not real confident about the future, which is what a lot of companies are saying right now. Worldwide, the economy is slowing down, but there is no play here. CF Industries, there's no play here. Nothing going on. We don't have any, we're in a downtrend, but this is not a very strong move up. But you just never know what's going to happen during the day, so maybe there might be something coming up in the next day or two here. Chipotle. We're in a downtrend, and this has a potential here of possibly hooking down today. But the other thing is, even though these indicators are telling me that this might be a good play, they have been their price has really been crushed, and they might just be heading back up, period. So this may continue up. Will I add it to my watch list? I'm not going to add it today. I might add it tomorrow. Salesforce.com. Nothing going on here. New trend down. I would need Stochastic to move up a little bit here and then give me a hook down before I would jump in there. Gold, I usually don't play this at all. This one's way too gappy for me. But sometimes, you see things in here that may be an opportunity. Google. And of course, we all know about their earnings. It was not pretty. You can see here, earnings per share was 903 and they expected 891, but revenue was way down. So the market did not like that. No play here. I don't look at IWM for what this purpose is here. MasterCard. I don't like to play the indexes on this. MasterCard, we have a play here. Right here. You can see that we got a nice hook here. And we actually have confirmation. So yesterday in a rather down day, this is looking really good. Add simulated trade. We would only want to be in this a short while. We're at 460. So we want to sell vertical. You can see that we are almost at a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio here. We could lose a max of 282 and make a max of 216. We only need to go in with one lot. So that's only commission on 2 contracts. So that could be quite attractive. So that is going into my list for today. Yes, I like that one. Priceline. Now what I'm going to be looking for today on, say on MasterCard, for example. So I'm going to look for at least some sort of move up here. Something to start to move up today, which I'll be watching this hourly chart to see if there's any, usually there's a little bit of pre-market trading on this. Let me zoom in on that. Usually like around 8 o'clock there might be a few shares traded, and I'll look to see how it's looking then, and then if I see something like this today where it just starts moving up in the first half hour, I'll wait until I'll probably get in right away, I would think. Alright, so Priceline. Nothing there. We're just kind of wallowing around here in the middle of Stochastic. We have it's pretty flat. I just don't see anything exciting here. Panera Bread. I don't see anything here. I don't see anything developing. We're in an uptrend, but just not liking this price action here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here with Panera. Their earnings, now they were coming down into earnings, and they did. Their earnings per share is up a little bit, and the future's bright, and I love eating at this restaurant. I just wish I had one closer. I have to go quite a ways to get to Panera Bread, but I really like eating in the restaurant. I guess you might call it the Starbucks of semi-fast food places, or made-to-order fast food, or whatever you want to call it. Good company. And basically that's it. The rest of these like RUT and SLV and stuff, that's for different strategies. So that's it. 18 minutes. Oh man, this is pretty long. Sorry about that, but I hope this helps you to understand a little bit more about what I'm looking for when I use these indicators. Thanks for watching, and happy trading.